Next on a jam-packed episode of the Broadway Show, attend the tale of Sweeney Todd with the musical's brand new Tony Award-winning stars Sutton Foster and Eden Tveit. Plus, it's the Broadway debut of Grammy winner Ani DiFranco in Hadestown. We'll talk about her long history in the underground. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is the Broadway Show. The Broadway Show is back with another good one. I'm Tamsen Fadal, so let's get started. It's time to go into the big top. Water for Elephants is now on Broadway. It's based on the best-selling novel and hit movie, and it actually features 7 real circus performers. We hit the red carpet with the stars opening night.
Anytime I go to the theater, it's like I want to laugh and I want to cry and I want to be moved, and like a small piece of me, at least maybe this is just the artist in me too, like a small piece of me wants to feel a little bit of that, like I wish I was up there with them, you know? It's like I always feel that when I'm at theater, no matter what I'm seeing. So I think with this show though, you do kind of get to feel like you're a part of it, you know? I think we bring everybody in. I hope you laugh and hope you cry, and I hope you're a little scared for everybody's life on stage, because everyone's doing some pretty crazy stuff.
For me, it's one of the more unique Broadway shows I've ever been in, and definitely ever seen, in that it's incorporating circus art with musical theater in a seamless way. It's part of the story. The acrobatics is part of our plot. And to marry it with that without it just feeling like giving a trick at the right time is kind of awesome.
This was the original dream, so it's surreal that kind of everything has led to this moment right now. It's it's really, really special. This was always, since I was 8 years old, what I wanted to do. So it's pretty cool to get to be here tonight.
If I could tell my 12-year-old self that I'd be on Broadway leading a show where I get to sing this illustrious music and play this fabulous woman who finds her voice and learns to stand up for herself. And I mean, it's just, I couldn't have asked for a bigger or better dream come true.
The Demon Barber of Fleet Street continues to terrorize on Broadway in 2024. The classic revenge tragedy is back with 2 more of Broadway's biggest stars, Sutton Foster and Eden Tveit. Here's Paul Wontorek with more.
I have followed both of you your entire careers since you first got here. And it's so exciting to see the front of the Lunfontaine Theater. I mean, come on, you're in Sweeney Todd. These moments, do you take these moments in? I mean, I know you're both real Broadway people.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we got here. That's kind of how I feel.
Same. I know. I'm trying to like really take it in. Every night I'm like, I want to go do Sweeney Todd on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like this, it's something. I still feel like the 15-year-old kid.
Life is a rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of that, though, I feel a bit more present doing it. This is Sweeney Todd, and we're in it. And you know, these things come along maybe once in a lifetime. So, you know, I've been really present with it.
Well, you know, a lot of people, when they heard you were cast as Sweeney Todd, they were like, Eden Tveit, that nice guy. I actually got to see you do Assassins in London, so I've seen the dark side. So I immediately was like, oh, yep, I can see that. I already saw the flip side of that. But is it exciting to get to show people another side of you?
It's so much fun. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've gotten to do a lot of great things, but I like going this direction. And yeah, the Assassin thing was a big, I love that production, and I had confidence that I could do this because of that, I think.
But do you find, and with you too, Sutton, do you find that sometimes people oversimplify roles from your past, maybe, and they sort of think like they're this type of person, and then like, oh, they're doing this, that's interesting, but it actually just fits into your wheelhouse of the big picture of your careing?
That's what I like to think, and
Yeah.
I'm always curious as an actor and as a performer, creator, all of those things of taking those curious left turns, or the ones that even scare me. If I go, that feels scary, I'm like, num, 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 num. Like, that's the one I want to do, because I want to keep growing as a performer.
But are these some of your darkest roles you've both tackled? Do you think of it as a dark role?
I don't think of Mrs. Lovett as a dark role. I think of her as complicated and complex.
Yeah.
I don't think of her as a villain. I think of her as someone who is desperate, and who is desperate to be loved, needed. She's conniving. And one of her last lines she says is, "Everything I did I thought was only for the best."
I don't think it's dark either. I mean, it goes to a dark place. I think this guy is a guy who was totally wronged. He had a really good life. He kept his nose down. He did what he was supposed to do. He was completely wronged by somebody above his station, and then through a extreme set of circumstances has ended up back in London and just wants to get his life back. You know, he wants to get his wife and his child back. And then what we see happen in the play is he learns all these things that first put him on vengeance, but then you see the 15 years of trauma that has happened, and you see the veneer crack, and you see his humanity crack. And he kind of says, F all of this, all of you deserve it, all of you are the problem, right? So it's fascinating.
I feel like the audience is rooting for you. And we know, I think as an audience, you know, this is not gonna,
yeah, and I think
this isn't the answer, but at the same time, there are evenings when the judge is killed and the audience applauds.
If the audience watches the show and can say, oh, maybe I would make those same decisions if I was in those circumstances. You know, that's, I think, you know, trying to humanize this story, and that's been my approach to it.
We're taking a look at another one of the amazing shows soon to be headed to Broadway. It's Mother Play, starring a trio of top Broadway talent, Jessica Lange, Jim Parsons, and Celia Keenan-Bolger. We got to know the stars.
I knew the moment I saw the email. It was like, there's a new play by Paul, and I was like, I'm doing that. Then I found out Jessica and Celia were in it, and I was like, oh my God. So, yeah. It was just one thing added onto another that was, the yes was strong. Everybody that's come into contact with it has some sort of connection with it. She taps into something that reminds everybody of what it is to be a part of a family, whether it's, you know, blood relations or chosen family, like the people closest to you that do the most for you, that frequently hurt you the most, and what it is to forgive them and move on.
It covers a huge arc of emotion. There's humor, there's sorrow, there's tragedy, it is quite extraordinary.
When you are in a play about family and about death and about forgiveness, you can't help but reflect on your own life and where you are in that process yourself. And I just think it's part of what makes actors so amazing, is that we are constantly having to look at our own lives and examine where we are and if we're living up to the standards of who we want to be in the world. And so, you know, it's like our outside life is always being brought into the room, and this play is no exception.
In Hadestown, a song can change your fate. And now Grammy winner Ani DiFranco has stepped into the role of Persephone. It's her Broadway debut, but she's got a long history with Hadestown. She actually originated the role of Persephone on the original concept album way back in 2010.
I don't know about you boys, but if you're like me, then hanging around this old manhole is bringing you down. 6 feet under, getting under your skin. Cabin fever is setting in.
You know, now it's a fully formed character within a fully formed story, which is much different than, you know, the initial recording. So that was more of, it's just way deeper now what I have to work with and what I have to pursue. And I'm finding I'm massaging it into my own version, you know, as I go.
Well, I can give you what it is you crave. A little something from the good old days. I got the wind right here in a jar. I got the rain on tap at the bar.
It's so inspiring to be surrounded by all these badasses. And I mean, not just the leads, but you know, the Fates and the workers and the swing players that can dip into any number of 9 roles and positions and know that harmony and that mark to hit and that movement at that, and get called in at a moment's notice and slay. They're all amazing. Right up until the last moment, I was thinking, can I even get my mojo on in this dress with poofy sleeves? Can I even be in my skin, you know, or Persephone's skin? You know, again, you're just surrounded by people who are rising to the occasion every night, so you just go ahead and do that too.
I'm in the Beehive. I love B2.
Beyonce can do anything she wants to do.
I love B2. I mean, she has my vote. Yeah. For lots of things. Yeah.
I'm going to say my 3-week-old daughter, Morrison, has my vote. I believe in her. I'm so grateful that she is in the world and she has my vote.
I'm going to say my mother, Melinda, has my vote. She's the biggest bad I know.
Patti LuPone will always have my vote now and forever.
Amy Poehler has my vote.
Lempicka comes to Broadway based on the life of the trailblazing Polish Art Deco artist. It stars Eden Espinosa and is directed by Tony Award winner Rachel Chapkin.
You need to be stronger than you are, stronger than you feel. Be still. Our time. Walk into hell and back. If I can bring him back, walk out of this place alive. Our time.
I have never done something like this before. This is like a newer thing, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. I feel like it's a feast for the senses, for your ears, for your eyes, for your heart, for your mind. It's gonna challenge you to make you look at your life in a way that maybe you haven't before. I know it is for all of us on that stage, and yeah, that's what I'm most excited for.
This is the age of the machine. Men now can dream of perfection.
Tamara's art is not like, she's not a subtle artist, and she was not a subtle woman by all accounts. My favorite story about her is that she apparently at parties would eat food off the naked bodies of both men and women. So we wanted to make something that was as fierce as she was.
Watching the world you see come into shape on the canvas. The way you look at me, can I escape from the canvas?
This is an epic musical. After the first 2 minutes, I think people are gonna be like, what the hell is this? But in the best way. I want people to need intermission. I want them to have to go catch their breaths and buy a beer and a t-shirt and come back and say, I don't even know what's happening, but I love it.
I'm here.
Grab Your Tissues, a musical adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' The Notebook, is now on Broadway, and it's just as romantic as ever. It's time now to take a walk with the Broadway star, so let's send it out to Charlie Cooper.
John, we're about to walk you to work. Listen, I am particularly excited about this show because I grew up on The Notebook, the movie, yes. So just to know that there's a Broadway adaptation, absolutely. I mean, mind blown.
Yes.
For you, what was it like when you got that call for the role?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I think I, like everyone else my age, really grew up with the film. It came out when I was really young, and I think the first time I saw it, I didn't really necessarily understand the depth of it, but because you watch Allie and Noah grow up through the film, it kind of grows up with you, and every time you revisit it, like later in life, you understand it on a deeper level. So to get the call that I was gonna get to explore the material in like a deeper way and really like walk in Noah's shoes for a while, it's mind-blowing.
How many times have you watched The Notebook? Like more than a dozen times? And when you have you cried?
Oh my gosh.
I don't care, I'll admit it. Like.
Over the span of my lifetime, I've seen it several times, and I'm not too proud to admit that I've cried every single time. It always gets me. I'm a sucker for the human spirit, you know?
No, I love that so much. But what I really also love about when it comes to relatability is the fact that the characters are played by people of different races, of different ages. Can you kind of talk about that?
I would love to. I'm so glad that you asked, because I think when I was offered the role and I saw the way that it was broken down, I had a lot of the same questions that everybody has, because it is undoubtedly unusual casting and feels very intentional. When I got to the other side of that process, I found that I never thought about it once. I never doubted what was unfolding in front of me. What is essential is that these are two people who are exercising their capacity to love and be loved, and that applies to everyone. And what they've done with this casting is set a precedent and an example for future iterations, whether it's future replacements in our show or in tours or in international productions, regional companies, community theaters, that Noah and Allie can look like and be anyone at any time. Everybody has the capacity to love and be loved. Nobody should be excluded from retelling this story over and over and over again. So I'm really proud to debut a role that any kid can come see and be like, this is my dream role, and you have the opportunity to play that. And I hope that everybody gets to walk in their shoes, because they're beautiful shoes that everybody, I think, can find themselves in.
We're here. I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that rain scene.
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure.
Me included.
Yes.
But listen, we're gonna let you go in.
Amazing.
And thank you for letting us walk you to work.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of
Nice to
course.
meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Thank you so much.
The first ever Broadway revival of Doubt, A Parable is now open on Broadway with Amy Ryan and Liev Schreiber. Doubt won the Tony and Pulitzer 2 decades ago, but even if you don't know the play, you probably know the playwright.
I love you. What?
Snap out of it! John Patrick Shanley won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay when he wrote Moonstruck, starring Cher and Nick Cage back in 1987. But Doubt is not all, far from it. His latest play, Brooklyn Laundry, just premiered at New York City Center, and the off-Broadway revival of Danny and the Deep Blue Sea just wrapped up its production in January. We got to know award-winning playwright John Patrick Shanley.
No, I certainly didn't see it coming. And what's more, I was not the engineer of this particular triumvirate. This was 3 very different eras. I wrote Danny and the Deep Blue Sea 40 years ago. And Aubrey Plaza and Chris Abbott did it in the fall here in New York, and very well. And then I was at the first read-through for that and became very emotional as I was sort of brought back to where I was when I wrote that play. And then Doubt, I did 20 years ago. Went to the first read-through of that. And that's a very different kind of experience. It's not just a straight emotional roller coaster like Danny. It's a more measured, contemplative, and provocative piece. But I found myself, revisiting the me of 20 years ago. And then I was directing Brooklyn Laundry, which is a play that I wrote now, and the whole thing did make my head spin a little bit. It's like being caught in some kind of diorama.
You've got just a couple of weeks left to catch the quest for the Holy Grail. The revival of Spamalot is set to close in April. The absolutely hilarious musical stars Leslie Rodriguez Kritzer as the Lady of the Lake. Check out this exclusive performance.
Nights prancing round in woolly tights. I might as well go to the pub. They've been out searching for a shrub. That's right, out shopping, yeah, for a bush. Well, they can kiss my tush. It seems to me they've really lost the plot. Whatever happened to my, I will call my agent Debris. Whatever happened to my, not yours, but my. Okay, I'm done. That's it. Bye.
Are you Broadway's biggest fan? Well, now is your chance to show us and win a trip to New York City to experience all the magic of the Great Bright Way. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is send us a short video, no more than 60 seconds, proving why you're Broadway's biggest fan. Then upload it to your social media and submit it to Broadway.com. You may win round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, 2 tickets to 3 Broadway shows, 2 invites to the Broadway.com Audience Choice Awards, and a whole lot more. You can find out all the details of our Broadway's biggest fan contest over at Broadway.com. Good luck. We're rolling out a new vlog over at Broadway.com, courtesy of the star of Water for Elephants, Isabelle McCalla. Check out this preview.
Should I sing like a song from the show as some artists?
Yes. Yes. Oh,
yes.
I'm so
okay, I'll do the Road Don't Make You Young because all of our Wild. I'll do Wild. As,
yes.
Okay, give me some people.
Adele.
Oh no, I can't do that.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Oh, just when I think and all of heaven, and rises up and holds me gently.
Bernadette.
Ooh, it's the look in your eye that moves me and draws me in to see what you're seeing.
And that's going to do it for us. But for tickets, or if you want to check out extended cuts of all these interviews, head over to Broadway.com. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show.